everybody. Let's quickly take a look at these two sentences. Paul is the guy, he works in accounts, and this is really what interests me. Now, do they sound okay to you? Well, if you cannot see anything wrong with these sentences, then you should watch this lesson. So welcome back to Let's Speak English. I'm Lalita and I'm here with another lesson for you busy people. So before we start, a quick reminder for you to subscribe to my channel Let's Speak English, and do not forget to hit that like button and share this video with your friends and colleagues. So let's dive quickly into the lesson, shall we? Now, some English learners make mistakes when they need to use words like who, whose, which, that and where in the middle of a sentence. That's what I'm going to help you with in this lesson. There'll also be a quiz to test what you have learned, so make sure you watch to the end. So let's start with who and that. So we use who or that to refer to people. For example, the woman who works at the reception is very friendly. We can also say the woman that works at the reception is very friendly. Let's look at another example. A CEO is a person who has the most authority in an organization. Now, in these examples, we can use who or that. However, there are sentences where we can use only who. Now, when we are giving some extra information about a person, we can only use who. We cannot use that in that situation. Let's take a look at some examples. Paul, who speaks French, is one of our best engineers. Now, it will be wrong if I say Paul that speaks French is one of our best engineers. Wrong. Great. Now we have looked at who and that. Now we shall look at which and that. We use which and that to refer to things when we want to talk about things. Take a look at the examples. Where is the file which was on my desk or that was on my desk? Another example. He works for a company which produces and sells hygiene product, or he works for a company that produces and sells hygiene products. Now, in these sentences, we can use which or that. A quick tip here for you. We use that more often in spoken English. However, there are some sentences where we can only use which. So, when we are giving some extra information about the thing, we use which. We cannot use that. Take a look at some of these examples. Susan told me about her new job, which she really is enjoying. Now, that is the right way to say. Now, if I say it like this, Susan told me about her new job that she is really enjoying, is not correct. Which is the right fit, right word there. Let's look at let's look at two important tips here. The first tip I have for you is we never use what in sentences like this. This is something what really interests me. Now, this is not the right way to say. The right way to say it is this is something that or which really interests me. Let's move to the second tip. We use who, that and which instead of pronouns like he, she, they, or it. For example, so we don't say something like Paul is the guy, he works in accounts. Now, the right way to say that is Paul is the guy who works in accounts. Well, excellent. Now let's move to the next word, whose. We use whose instead of the pronouns his, her, or their. Let's look at some examples. He is a man whose opinion I respect. This is to say or mean that I respect his opinion. Another example, we met some business partners whose flight had been delayed. This is to say that their flight had been delayed. Now, what is the difference between who and whose? Let's take a look at that. Let's look at these examples and that will clarify for you the difference. I met a man who knows you. This is to say that he knows you. The second sentence, I met a man whose sister knows you. Now this is to say that his sister knows you. I hope you got the difference between the usage of who and whose. Great. And the last word now we are going to look at is where. So we use where to refer to places. Let's look at some examples. An office is a place where people work. Or I could also say, I would like to live in a country where the weather is not too hot. That's how we use where. Now is the time to test what you have learnt. It's quiz time. So I have 6 sentences for you and each one has a missing word. You have 3 options and only one of them is correct. So are you ready? Let's give it a try. So the first one is, we spoke to a client, Beep company had a very successful year. So the answer is given there for you, whose. Try now to look at the answer and do it by yourself. The second one is, they showed us around their offices. Beep are really modern. Which are really modern? The third one, George is the young guy. Beep works at the reception. So, who works at the reception? Who is the right answer? My sister Barbara, Beep, lives in Paris. She is a lawyer. So, it's like this. My sister Barbara, Beep, lives in Paris, is a lawyer. Who lives in Paris is a lawyer. The next one, Paula works for a company. Beep makes shoes. The right answer is which or that. Both are correct. The next one is, can you remember the name of the hotel Beep we stayed last time? The right answer is where we lived last time, where we stayed last time. With that, we come to the end of today's lesson and I hope you found it useful and also hope you did well on that quiz. Do not forget to mention it in the comment box below. If you like this video, do not forget to hit the like button and share it with your friends and colleagues. And do not forget to subscribe to Let's Speak English if you haven't done that already.